Hey everyone, I see everyone's arriving. I'm just getting set up here. Things off. And yep, there we go. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have gentlemen here today as well. Welcome to the Women of FileMaker 2018 Q3 meeting. This is our pre-DevCon meeting. We have a lot to cover today. The first thing on the agenda is to, again, I want to always start this way, just reiterating our mission statement and our goals. Our mission statement is to provide resources to help women succeed in their careers as FileMaker developers. I think we've done a really good job of meeting most of our goals so far this year too, where they are to provide networking opportunities, provide DevCon scholarships, provide mentorship opportunities, and provide leadership opportunities. We are all over that stuff, and we will show you how today, or how we're doing it. All right, so we are going to run through some agenda. The agenda will run through just really by committee. We'll go, lead by lead to go through and talk about the DevCon luncheon first. That's coming up, as is our booth. Mentorship is a big thing. We'll do a recap on pause on error. We will talk about the DevCon scholarships. I mean, they're coming up, but they've already been given. So we'll have an update there. Also, fundraising 501c, that's a big thing for us, is moving forward on that. And then marketing website. So let's kick it off with the luncheon. And Vanessa is lead on here. So Vanessa, I'll ask you if you can unmute yourself and go ahead and speak to your update. I'm actually looking for Vanessa on the list, and I'm not sure she's here yet.
She just chatted on Slack that she's having difficulties launching, and she's will be there as soon as she can.
Okay, I'll tell you what, why don't we move
Maybe come
on?
back to her, yeah.
We'll come back to her. So let's go on to the booth. So I think I saw Laramie come in. So Laramie, do you want to kind of hit up what the efforts are here?
Yeah, sure. So at this point, we have the design for the booth sent over for printing. So that's off of our plate. And I noticed, I checked on the volunteer page, and before I started hitting up a bunch of people, we had nobody signed up for the volunteers for staffing the booth. So that's really, at this point, I think that's our main concern would be getting bodies into the booth for during DevCon.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Laura. I think you're on the call. Yes, you are. Can you please start a running list of all the things that we're going to have to start hitting up on social media and hitting hard? And that's one of them, is getting volunteers for the booth. So that can definitely go on that list. Laramie's been doing a great job. The booth is going to be really cool this year, a lot prettier, and have more stuff than last time. So kudos to her for the good work. All right, I did see Vanessa come in. So Vanessa, I'm going to go back to you. We actually skipped you since you were having
I have a question actually on the booth.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to log in right now on the site to register. And well, first of all, it's saying that I need to log in. And even though I am logged in, it's saying that I still need to log in. But do we have to have people create an account just to sign up for the booth? Can we just make it so you don't have to have an account? Or
yes, we can. Maka, can you send me those two things? And can you send me those two things in Slack?
Sure.
And I'll put them in to have them changed on the website.
Awesome. Okay, thanks.
And Laramie, before I totally let you go, I do want to talk a little bit about what our goals for the booth and for our DevCon are this year. I have a couple of goals that Elizabeth has shared with me, and she's done a great job of giving them in some firm numbers. From the scholarship standpoint, she'd really like to double the number of people from 20, we currently have 20 to 40, who will spread the word at FileMaker meetings, company meetings, FM Pug get-togethers, all those things about the scholarship and fundraisers. That is something that if we can get that a list to, you know, reach out to those people when the time comes, that'd be great. And then she has a very specific number. Elizabeth, I really like this number, $6,543, 6543 in pledges for the scholarships. Elizabeth on both of these has an iPad FM Go app that can help support, you know, tracking the goal. So she'll have that in our booth. So those are two things we can speak to. As a group, we also talked about wanting to add mentors and increase awareness. So adding mentors is something, Maka, I will actually challenge you to come up with a way that we can measure it. You know, how are we successful? And that can also help in providing some talking points to the people who are actually working in the booth of what we're trying to get. And then also, I'm not sure how awareness is measured. And I don't know if anybody has a good idea for that, but I'm very open to it.
I mean, one way you could, in theory, measure awareness is via social media to see if your stats are changing pre-DevCon versus post. I'm not sure that would accurately capture your DevCon awareness, but it could be one thing to kind of take a look at.
General awareness, that's a good way to measure it. And so Laura, put that on your list too. We'll have to figure out how to measure before and after. I'm seeing in the chat from Jeremy, do you have a package of promotional materials about Women of FileMaker activities, which would be useful in user groups? Jeremy, that's interesting. We do, and we're actually that's actually on the list here coming up to speak to creating better talking points and that kind of thing too. So, all right. With that covered, I'm going to go. And now, let me ask: does anyone else have a goal that you feel like we should try to accomplish? I mean, I don't want to overdo it, but if there is something that somebody feels is missing from here that we should try to accomplish, I'll give a second or two. All right. If anybody comes up with something miraculous, hit me up on Slack and we'll add it. All right, going back to the luncheon. Vanessa, now that you're here, we'll let you jump in and cover the update.
Wonderful. Okay, so the luncheon is on Tuesday during lunch at DevCon, and our kind of tagline or theme is Women in Tech, honoring the past, celebrating the present, and looking to the future. And we plan to do this kind of a variety of ways of highlighting women in the FileMaker community as well as kind of just women in tech in general. And then we right now have capacity for 250 women for the luncheon. We only have 40 registered right now. We had originally posted a July 17th deadline and would love to get as many people registered by then as possible. We're still waiting to hear back on when the hotel will need final numbers. So if you have not registered, please register. If you have people at your company or that you work with that have not registered, please encourage them to do so as soon as possible. I will throw the link here in the chat in just a second.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go away.
That's okay. Because it's a plated luncheon this year, to kind of allow for more time for networking instead of going through a food line and trying to find a seat, it makes pre-registration that much more important. Let me see what else. We're right now working on kind of event logistics and details. we'd gotten some feedback, and I give huge props to the group that was kind of working on this, the Karens, Bev, Susan, and Laura, for all of their help and kind of discussions. But we decided that we wanted to focus more on networking rather than kind of a panel or bringing in a speaker, just to really try and solidify the bonds within the community. So if anyone else is interested in kind of helping hammer out those last event logistics and details, I'm going to be sending out a doodle link to have a meeting next week. So please reach out and I will add you to the doodle. And I think that is everything I had in my notes here.
So if y'all haven't used Doodle yet, it's really pretty cool. It helps you find a time that works for everyone. I stole the tool idea from Vanessa. I use it all the time now. So you might find the same after you use it.
It's pretty cool.
It is really cool. All right. So let's see. Okay. So the booth, Laramie has already talked about, and she had to drop. So she's out. All right. Mentorship. Maka, I know you're here. So, before we move on, Laura, can you add that luncheon registration to your list? All right. Mentorship. Here we go, Maka. Take it away.
All right. Thank you. All right. So first of all, I want to thank everyone in the committee. You guys are all awesome. I loved hearing all your ideas in our meeting. So, and if anyone else wants to join the committee, get involved, go ahead and email me and I will invite you to our meetings. So our goals, we had several goals, but our biggest thing was to obviously attract new mentors and get the mentorship program going, running off the ground. And we're currently low on mentorships. We have more mentees signed up than we can pair up with mentors. So we really want to try to get a push to get more mentors. And one of the things that our committee came up with to do that was to create a thank you page. So I've reached out to everyone who's currently a mentor, and we launched a thank you page on the website. Just kind of list the person and their company with a link to their company. Try to help promote. So, and then definitely if you're going to sign up for the booth, that's something that we want to push, is just try to get more people to sign up on our website to be either a mentor or mentee, and it's not gender specific, so anyone can sign up. It's a program for everybody. And this year we're launching DevCon Buddy, so I'm super excited about this. This was an idea on the dream board last DevCon, and we made it happen, so I'm hoping it works out. And so the idea behind this is basically people who attend the new attendee meeting, I'll go and make an announcement and just kind of talk a little bit about the program, DevCon Buddy. And our hope is that people who signed up to be a buddy or like an advisor, or what did you call it? Ambassador? Ambassador, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So if you sign up to be an ambassador, I'll send you email with the details about what the plan is. But basically, I want the ambassadors to attend the new attendee meeting and hopefully like socialize there and meet up. And I didn't want to like assign a one-on-one because when you're in person, you know, it's kind of a short thing, and I want it to kind of be more organic, like how everyone kind of met up. So that's kind of the idea behind that, is here's a place for everyone, you know, if you're looking to help out and be an ambassador, or if you're new to DevCon and you want an ambassador, then hopefully we can make that work. And Jeremy Brown actually had this awesome idea of doing a game. So we're going to launch this DevCon bingo for the new attendees. And basically it's a FileMaker Go app that if you do certain things, you can mark it as completed, like basically certain tasks. So for example, I can't think of anything, like go to the pool was one of them, or attend a session on Go, something like that. And then the person who gets the most points at the end of the week will get a prize. And I think our plan right now is to do like the top five get a prize. And our also idea was to have the prizes kind of hang out at the booth, so kind of a way to attract more people to the booth so they can come and see the prizes during the week. So that's our plan with that. And what a DevCon buddy will do is basically if your new person has questions like what session to attend to, or what's a good after party, or what's a good networking event that I should go to, or just simply help someone meet other people. That's really the whole plan of DevCon Buddy. And it doesn't have to be a big commitment. It doesn't mean you have to hang out with that person the whole time. It can be you meet them for lunch, or you send them a text, or you send them an email. Just check up with them like once a day or something like that. So I'm hoping to get a bunch of women to sign up to do that. So I'd love to see a big flow of signups. And yeah, I'm really excited about that one. So any questions about that?
Maka, just to clarify, the buddies are all women of FileMaker, but the newbies, so to speak, can be anybody, right?
Well, the buddies can be anybody too.
Okay.
Anybody can be anybody.
So just a service kind of sponsored by Women of FileMaker.
Exactly. Similar to the mentorship program. Yeah, we're not not discriminating, but we're not cutting people off by their gender. So yeah, so it's just it's kind of a way to promote Women of FileMaker, but also get everyone involved.
So big shout out to FileMaker, who really likes this idea. I've been talking with Julie Sigfrenius, who is working to try to get specific tables designated for newcomers and ambassadors at all the events where there, would be tables. I don't know if many of you remember, but often at DevCon, they have tables with little flags on them that say that they're for a specific group. So it would be something like that. And then also, she's working on a potential way for us to identify on the badge, whether you're an ambassador or a newcomer, so that it's easier to identify and, meet and pick people. Just give us some more common ways to welcome new people and build that FileMaker community that keeps people coming back year after year. So big shout out to FileMaker for helping with that. Thank you. All right, anybody have any questions for Maka? I'm scanning the chat here too to see if anybody's put anything in. All right, it doesn't look like it. So,
cool.
All right, thanks Maka, appreciate it. Yeah. All right, so moving on, Lisette, we're now out of the DevCon world and moving back to a little bit more historical stuff, real historical, like way back in May. It feels like it was longer than that though. Lisette, can you give us a recap of how Pause on Error went?
Sure, so first, again, thanks to Susan and Martha for making this a lot easier when I seem to have volunteered myself to do it. I was very nervous about the whole process because I didn't really think I had the ability to pull all this off, and I couldn't have done it without them. Our goals were to get more women attending and to have more women speakers. We had a secret goal of 50% women speakers, which you could see we beat that by far. We had 43% women attendees, which I think is double what we've ever had at FileMaker in the time where we could track that at DevCon. It's not been tracked in previous pauses, but I know it was nowhere near that high for the ones I was at. It was more a smattering, that many speakers. Over half of our speakers, this was their first time to speak at a DevCon or a pause, including me. So we definitely got a lot of new voices out there. We've had a lot of positive follow-up responses from people who've been before, as well as new folks, and especially the first-time speakers. I had several people come up to me there, and as well as received emails afterwards. And we've been asked to remain involved with future Pause on Error, so that's exciting.
Lisette, you did a great job. And we had, if you didn't go, you really missed out. It was amazing. It was so amazing to see that many women at a tech conference. So thank you for your leadership on that, Lisette.
Yeah, there was actually a line for the bathroom.
There was. Different from most DevCons for sure.
Hey, this is Martha. Lisette, could you talk a little bit about the way that we pick speakers and the kind of the 1 to 2 week wait and what that meant?
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So normally with pause in the past, up until the one right before this one, the schedule was always just everybody could have at it. You signed up, put your session on the schedule, and first come first served. It ended up on the space. We asked people to submit their sessions through us, and we knew from that first week that we were going to select a lot of the sessions we'd already received, but they were from people who are FileMaker famous. They always speak. We know it's going to be a good session. They've got a lot going on. We had one woman in that group. I believe that was Colleen. Everything else was men in that first week. But we didn't put anything on the schedule. We just left our initial 5 items up there. And the next week, those numbers reversed. And we had not only a lot of women suggesting sessions, but a lot of women who had never spoken in public before or had never presented at a DevCon or a FileMaker. And I think just having that open, empty calendar sitting there gave people a little more feeling like, well, I could be up there instead of seeing, I know in the past I've looked at it and it's like it fills up right away with all these people you're used to seeing speaking, and you can't see yourself on that same calendar. And you can't think of anything to go up against what those subjects are. This gave us a chance. We got some sessions where there were several people suggesting something really similar, and we're able to suggest they talk to each other and do a panel instead, or combine in some way. And there was a lot of getting the new voices out there.
It was so refreshing to hear from so many new voices. But that being said, I don't think we really turned down many people at all. I think almost everyone that wanted to speak still spoke. Is that?
Yeah, there were a few that didn't, but a lot of those, yeah, smattering, and a lot of those were folks who came in late, and it looked like the schedule wasn't full yet, but we were waiting on tweaks to the session title or description from people we were already going to accept. We just didn't have it up on the calendar yet because we wanted to revise the wording on the description or tighten it up a little bit. So that it appeared there were slots, but there weren't any left. So some people just lost out because of that. And we still got good ideas, right at the end. We had to turn away some really good sessions. But some of those people did take up time, like after they used the free rooms space at the end of the day, and still got their information out there.
Well, it was a great experience. I was really excited to be involved. It was my first pause, so it was kind of cool for me to go from the standpoint of it's the first time I've ever been, and it was so amazing. I mean, it really was. So very nice job, Lisette. You did.
Thanks. Well, I found out I could do things I didn't know I could do, and spoke in public for the first time.
Do the thing, say the thing.
Yeah, that's it. Do it. It's all
right. Well,
it's
really,
worth the frightening part.
Exactly. You get over it, and then you move on. So any of those of you out there that are still shy but still want to speak in public, you should connect with Lisette and let her talk to you one-on-one about her experience. She really stood tall. All right, we are going to move on. Thanks, Lisette. I appreciate it. Into some more summaries. DevCon scholarships is next. And before we move into that, I want to kind of give a heads up on, we're coming up on DevCon. That's sort of our year end, so to speak. That's how many people think of serving from DevCon to DevCon in their roles in leadership positions and those committees, those kinds of things. I have been reaching out to everyone to ask if they want to stay in their roles. Most people did, and I think that's fantastic because we've really gotten a ball rolling, and having people maintain the positions for a little bit longer really is going to help to keep us on that uphill roll. I don't know that I'm not saying my idioms correctly, but you know what I mean. To that end, there are a few people that need to step down, and this is not really a group where everyone nominates somebody and then you vote. It's really kind of a who's willing to step up and do this role, right? So we're going to come to one right here, which is scholarships. And Elizabeth has done an amazing job leading the scholarships. She does want to leave the role and step into leading fundraising, where I think she will also be amazing and succeed. But we need a new lead to take over after DevCon. So if you're interested in this role, please reach out to either Elizabeth or me. Elizabeth has great documentation. She's documented all sorts of stuff that has never been written down before. And so she can get you started. You're not starting blind. She did, sort of. So kudos to her for setting that up. And Elizabeth, I'm going to hand it over to you to kind of give a summary on how we did this year. You're muted, Elizabeth. Let me see if I can unmute you. All right. You should be good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I just thank you for that, Susan. I just want to add also that anyone who would be stepping into the role of scholarship chair has the wonderful benefit of working with Sarah Sigfrini-Speet, who has also been on the committee for the last 2 years with me. So, in addition to the documentation materials that we put together as a group to help make the handoff smoother, you will also have a seasoned member on your team. So moving on to our fundraising, our fundraising results. I found out something this year as I was putting this together. Here's a little history lesson. 2016 was the first year. I didn't know that. This was a privately funded effort by Molly Connolly and Chris Ippolite. They just threw in $2,000 and paid for DevCon for 2 women. In 2017, Molly opened it up to the public on a GoFundMe page that was up for 3 days before she raised too much money and had to take it down in haste. So in 3 days, she was able to raise $4,000, and as a result, we awarded 3 scholarships. Then in 2018, our goal was to fund 4 scholarships. I think we had the GoFundMe page up for about 20 days. We raised almost $10,000, and as a result, we awarded 4 full scholarships, so that's DevCon plus Training Day, as well as a Stephen Blackwell Special Travel Scholarship for a 5th applicant who applied but had already bought her DevCon registration because, undaunted, she was going to DevCon come hell or high water. So we thought we'd help her out and pay for her travel. And thank you for Stephen Blackwell and his efforts in that. So that's a little bit of a history of where we've been.
And Elizabeth, I'm going to jump in here, and because I think that Molly deserves a big shout out for getting this ball rolling,
Huge.
for having the vision of what it has become and what we're able to accomplish is amazing. So thanks, Molly. Really appreciate that.
Okay, advancing slide. There we go. All right. So for 2019, we thought, well, 4 is really the number. We like the number 4. It's a stable number. It's an easy number to work with for a number of reasons, not just in terms of the choosing and the awarding, but also now since Maka has stepped in to do this awesome thing with DevCon Buddy, she and another woman are partnering up to be the DevCon buddies for our 4 scholarship winners. Well, actually 5, but there was a group that didn't have people. So each Maka and her, I'm sorry, Maka, I forget her name.
Christy, and she's on the call.
Christy.
Yeah.
Christy, hi, Christy. So they're each going to take on 2 of the scholarship people. So it becomes this really fun group of 6 people mentored by 2 seasoned people So anyway, that's just a really good setup. We're going to stick with 4. It keeps it special. I think overall what we've seen in this whole slideshow today is that what we need is more time. So I'd like to propose trying to get that fundraising site up for a longer period of time and raise $10,000 minimum. How do we do this? Well, I'm glad you asked. I want to review a couple things we learned in 2018, which was in our outreach analysis. We learned that going to local FM meetings and presenting there or having somebody present on our behalf is equally as effective as all of our online efforts put together. And what we need to accomplish this are people and time. So I'm hoping that for this year, last year I was able to cull together a list of 49 FM groups. There may be more now, there may be fewer. We were able to present at 12 of them. Laura Betts being MVP, I think she hit 5. Next year, I'm hoping we can hit 20, which would be 40%. So again, people and time is what we need for that. Next slide. Donor enthusiasm is high. I mean, people are excited to donate. Josie, if she was on the call, could tell you, I think, you know, people were saying, can you open the site back up? I didn't get there in time. I want to donate money. So we have the typical last minute, if not too late thing going on with our donors. So again, I think if we can just get more time and give them more time, in looking at the expenses, you know, we don't know what it's going to be exactly, but we can kind of estimate that DevCon plus training day is going to be at about $1,700 each. It would be great if we could offer room and tax to these people, but if we can't, again, we need more time so that we can award earlier and the scholarship winners can take advantage of the discount hotel rates before they're all gone. So anyway, this is how I came up with the $10,000 minimum goal for 2019. So we need time. The last thing we learned was that in the award process, it is wicked hard to give money away. There was one person of the 5 that we contacted who jumped right on it and said, yes, immediately, I'll be there. Everybody else, we had to prompt and intervene with other FBA members who knew them personally. And I think part of that is really just a symptom of the fact that we were kind of coming into this late. You know, the awards weren't happening till May. People have kind of moved on. They're not sure if they're making it. I think we can combat a lot of that if we just start earlier. So moving on. How do we do this for 2019? Well, that's it in a nutshell. Start earlier. Thank you. Mic drop. My time is over. Just kidding. Mostly it's starting earlier. And for that, you know, I mean to interface with the website team more and try to get this stuff up much earlier. We have a really solid foundation of messaging, but one of the things the scholarship committee people came up with was, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could enhance some of that online presence with some video testimonials? So hopefully we'll be able to, you know, grab some of that with our iPhones of the women who are attending this year who won scholarships, maybe some past scholarship winners if we can get them. And then, of course, increasing our reach with the word of mouth marketing through the FileMaker meetings, through employers, through consultants, through FBA. Julie has been gracious, and I have to admit here that I failed in actually meeting her handshake with the materials she needed to announce this stuff at FBA's, but I am currently working on a slide for her to present at the FBA Connect on Thursday. So we have a lot of opportunities out there. Again, we just need people and time. And then finally, for our review process, if we can just start and complete and announce earlier, even if we can only raise enough money to pay for DevCon and training day, we can still at least award sooner so that applicants and winners can take advantage of those early hotel discounts. So my proposed schedule for 2019 is that we launch our website, our application and fundraising website around Labor Day. That's just an easy number or an easy date because, you know, it happens. So we'll need to just get all of our messaging updated to be able to share with everybody. I'd like to also start that GoFundMe page around September and run it all the way through March. And this provides a certain advantage to many of our donors who are FBA members, who are companies, because in Q4, everyone's looking to give money away in preparation for the tax year and the meeting with their accountants. So I really want to leverage that Q4 opportunity, which we haven't been able to do yet because we don't get started until January usually. That would put our application deadline for scholarship applicants around January 5th. So folks would have holiday time, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas as well, to concentrate on their essays if they're lagging behind. And then we would have January to do the review on the scholarship committee, and then announce the winners hopefully by the end of February, so that, like I said, they can take advantage of those discount hotel rates if need be. Any questions or thoughts? Because this kind of a schedule really is hinging upon everybody saying, yeah, we can do that, and we're on board.
I think we can do that, and we're on board.
All right.
Now, of course, mic drop now. So to Elizabeth's points here too, you can see that if you are willing to step in and take over the lead of this area, she's done a lot of pre-work for you as well. And since she wants to take over, moving to the fundraising section, since she wants to take over the fundraising from Josie, who has decided to step down, she will still be part of this with you. You will have her to lean on and ask questions of. She's not just going to leave you in a bind. So if you're interested, please reach out to us. And the fundraising, you know, one of the beauties has been so far, as soon as we open it, people start donating. And they were very disappointed when we're like, no, we've collected everything. We've got to close it down. And part of the reason we have to close it down, oh, and by the way, Josie's not here today, so there's not really any update from her anyway, because, you know, we did the fundraising, right? Part of the reason we have to close down the fundraising, though, is because we are not a 501c. We are not really a real entity. We're just sort of a club. And to that end, we can't get our own checking account. You know, we're running money through some corporations who have offered to help with that, which has been very nice that they have done that. I think Molly did it herself first with Thorson Consulting, and then Soliant did it for us this year, but that's just not the best way to do it. So as we make this so much of a big deal, and as we target that $10,000 number, that's when the government starts to be really interested too with that kind of money. So we really need to get that 501c in place. I know Josie has done some research on it, but I do not have an update from her on where she is. But we think we probably need a temporary lead to help us drive this action. The other thing we need in this area is if someone knows a lawyer that can advise us on, you know, getting this set up properly initially, that would be great. If somebody has somebody out there like that can help us out. So this is a lead we're looking to fill. So we have 2 leadership opportunities available: the 501c committee and the scholarship. All right. Moving into marketing. This is another role that's being changed. Paula is stepping down. Paula, thank you so much for all that you have done for the past few years. You've been a great lead to get this really rolling. And Martha Zink is going to step in. So she will be ready to go after DevCon, but you'll start to maybe see some transition between you know, now and then as well. Monica is new to the team this year and is helping to create some language and materials, and has done some blogs on the website. We'd love to see more of that. And Laura, as always, is fantastic at the social media. And Paula, are you here?
Yep, I am.
Do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, I just want to say I'm really excited about Martha graciously volunteering to take over this group, and I'm sure she'll do a fantastic job. And I thank everyone for the opportunity to serve. I wish I could have served more fully. It's a time commitment thing, so I'm very happy that someone competent will be taking this over, and hopefully doing much more than I've been able to.
Well, Paula, you really rocked it the past few, and Elizabeth just said the same thing in chat. You really rocked it and got us started down the right path, and that's a big deal. I mean, you're really the first marketing lead, really. So thank you for all that you've set up there. Now, some things I'm going to ask from marketing. And I know, Paula, you're working on creating the slide deck for the booth and for the luncheon. We have that.
Yeah, actually, Monica had agreed to put something together. She's an amazing graphic artist, and I will follow up with her. And if she needs any assistance, I'll help her. I'm going to be out of town for a little while, so my time is going to be limited over the next 18 days. But I'll be on Wi-Fi, so we'll be in contact, and we'll make sure we get you those materials.
That's awesome. The other, and this is going to be something that we have a request from other team members on too, is really working out the talking points on membership, recruitment, our DevCon, what do the people working in the booth say? We need some sort of nice bullet point stuff. And I know Elizabeth started something with the slide deck that she shared before, and I think we can pull things from there. So I don't think it's starting from scratch, but that is something that if Monica, Paula, Laura, and Martha could look at before DevCon, that would be great. And then Laura, as I've kind of been pinging you throughout the session, having a social media plan for all the initiatives surrounding DevCon. We can also send out e-blasts, and I think that especially for the luncheon, I probably should write one up and do it tomorrow. I can help with that too. So these are the things that we have requests on and need some help on. Paula, I know your time is really limited, so if there are others that can step up and help with that, that'd be fantastic. All right, moving on to the website. Brenda is still leading the website, has agreed to continue, and it's been growing, so that's awesome. If there are changes or anybody sees bugs or anybody wants to write blog posts or anything like that, please hit me up. I'm kind of her project manager on this, so we have a Basecamp project that we run things to kind of coordinate with her when she's going to edit and what she's going to change. So that's out there and available. Laura, I see you're saying you can make a social media planning calendar. That would be awesome. Okay, next meetings. So it's time to look at the meetings for next year. Here they are. Same time. It's really pretty much the first Tuesday of each month, or maybe it's the second. I think that might be the second. To the second Tuesday. So if there are any questions, we do have a little bit of time. I can open it up if anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask anything. Can also put it in chat if you prefer to keep quiet. And it looks like in chat over here, we're working out a 501c chair. So yes, Linda, we can get you help if you're willing to lead it. All right, ladies, thank you so much. Anything after the fact, please feel free to reach out to me. You can do it via email at the address at the bottom, or you can do it via Slack. If you would like to be part of the Slack group, please send an email to me and we'll get you added. And we will share the recording of this out with the group. And ladies, we'll see you at DevCon.
Thank you so much, Susan.
Have a great one. Thanks, Maka.
Bye.